I see a lot of benefits also for, for being productive, for being creative and having time off.
Yes.
And actually being able to think of other things on your job. I think that sometimes makes you even better at your job. I would miss if I worked here, I think.
And how many paid holidays do you get per year, and what's the legal minimum in Switzerland?
Yeah. So the legal minimum in Switzerland is 20 days.
Yes.
In my company we get 25 days. I do think that it's good for mental health to take a break, like for a longer period
Yes.
of time.
How long is common when people apply holidays? 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3?
Yeah, between 1 and 2 weeks they can also take sick leave days for their children. So if their child is sick, it's like a care day.
Oh, really?
So if you get up to 14 days or so per year for your children.
What are your thoughts on the Japanese work environment and the way Japanese people work compared to your country? Today I'm Louis. What's your name?
I'm Lina.
Okay, and
I'm Francisco.
okay, so where are you guys from?
I am from Germany.
Germany. Okay. And what's your job?
I work as a researcher.
Researcher?
Yes.
Okay. And do you work for, where do you work for? Which?
I actually work for a research institute in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I still live in Germany.
Oh, you still live in Germany?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like a remote work?
And most of the time, yes.
Okay. Okay. And the first question is about paid holidays. In Japan, the law ensures paid holidays for a year.
Yes.
After 6 months, join a company. But most people don't take them all due to high pressure. And how many paid holidays do you get per year, and what's the legal minimum in Switzerland?
Yeah. So the legal minimum in Switzerland is 20 days.
Yes.
In my company, we get 25 days. But they just changed it last year, so
Oh.
it increased from 20 to 25. And we're encouraged to take them all. And I say that most people now also take them all.
Oh, okay. So most people take within the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do people usually do with that?
Well, it depends. I feel like if people have a family, they take it during the school holidays and then they spend just like holidays with their kids.
Yes.
I don't have a family or I don't have kids, so we just use it for traveling, like coming here, for example.
Traveling abroad or
Yeah.
okay. And do you get them immediately after you join the company or some months after?
I think we have like a probation period of
Okay.
3 months, I could imagine.
okay.
But you can take holidays in that time.
Yes.
So I think you get them immediately.
Okay, I see. And most Japanese people don't use them all. Do you have to use them all within a year, right? 20
Yeah,
days and 25 days.
Yeah, we're encouraged to do that. So I
Okay.
think, yeah.
In 2019, the Japanese government required people to take 5 days off as a part of work reforms in Japan because we don't use them all, the 10 days all.
Yeah.
So, but it's very often difficult to take them the 5 days all at once. So in the end, people end up taking 1 day off at a time throughout the year. What do you think about this compared to your country?
I do think that it's good for mental health to take a break, like for a longer period
Yes.
of time. And I think there are some studies also showing that you need at least 1 week to really detach from your work life. So I do see some value in taking, let's say, not just single days,
Yeah.
but actually like a full week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. So you said 25 days you have. So is it like common to 25 days all at once, or is going to be split up?
Yeah, usually we split them up because, I don't know, maybe some people want to take some time for I don't know, Christmas holidays,
yeah.
and in the summer 1 or 2 weeks, and then, so I don't think it's very common for a person to take them all at once. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
has your boss ever discussed or complained if you say, I will take like 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off?
No, never. But we also work very independent. So whenever it doesn't disturb my work,
Yes.
I'm free to take my holidays however I want. But I don't think that this is not very common. I do
okay.
think it's we have a lot of freedom in my company. Yes.
So how long is the common when people apply holidays? 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks?
Yeah, between 1 and 2 weeks, I think is like, because then with 25 days, you can take it throughout the year, like 1 week here, 2 weeks there.
yeah.
So I think it's between 1 and 2 weeks. Yeah.
1 or 2 weeks. And do your boss contact you while you're on vacation? Like email or chat or phone?
Sometimes they contact me, but because they don't remember that I'm on vacation, but they don't expect me to respond. So, and I also don't check my emails when I'm on vacation, so I don't see it until I come back.
Okay, I see. And regarding sick leaves, do you have sick leaves in your company and your country?
Yes. So there is sick leave. I think until up to, I don't know, 2 weeks or so of sick leave,
Yes.
you get your full pay, and afterwards you get like a reduced pay. But as long as you have like a notice from a doctor that you're actually sick, there are like strict regulations about this. Yeah.
So if you have a fever or you get sick, you can day off for 1 day. Is that full payment?
Yeah.
And do you need to submit doctor's certificate if it's 1 day?
No, if it's 1 day not, I think starting from 3 days in a row,
Yes.
I need to present a doctor's notice. But for example, also people that have children, they can also take sick leave days for their children. So if their child is sick, it's like a care day or something like
really?
that. So like you get up to 14 days or so per year for your children. And for yourself, it's really as long as you have the doctor's
That's very good.
certificate. Yeah.
In Japan, there are no specific regulation about sick leaves.
Okay.
So Japanese people are not familiar with sick leaves.
Yeah.
What is sick leave? Can you describe for Japanese people, please?
Sick leave is when a person feels too sick to work, and then takes time to recover.
Okay.
I guess.
Thank you. And what would happen if you take sick leave like 1 month or longer if you get heavy disease?
Yeah.
Does it affect your promotion or your salary or career?
My salary, like if I take it, if I'm sick like for a long period of time, eventually the company doesn't pay for it anymore, but the health insurance pays, and they pay a little lower than my actual salary. So it's so I would earn a little less. In terms of like organizing it at work, I mean, it happens that sometimes, I don't know, somebody just has a disease and is sick for a longer period of time. I think it's bosses or like companies are they understand it, that it happens. They need to plan for this.
Right.
I don't think that it would, like, I don't need to even give a reason. So I could have a burnout or something, and I wouldn't need to tell my boss that I have a burnout. I can just say, here, I'm sick. So I don't think that it would, I don't know, inhibit or like change my prospects in the company. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. In Japan, if you get sick or if you get fever, since we don't have sick leaves, as I said, so we need to use our paid holidays.
Okay.
So we have 10 days minimum paid holidays. So if you get sick, we need to use that. So maybe we cannot travel abroad.
Yes.
Because just in case we need to
Yeah.
have that, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about this compared to your country?
Yeah, it sounds challenging. I do think that there is a value in really taking time off to recover if you're sick. And I think the body just needs that. I don't know, to lie in bed and do nothing and really recover. So it sounds very challenging to plan for this eventuality of maybe getting sick. Yeah.
Okay. And regarding overtime, how many hours do you work per day?
So a normal working day in Switzerland is 8.4 hours.
8.4 hours, okay.
And that includes half an hour break.
Okay.
So that's like a normal working day. I'm quite flexible in organizing my work day. So sometimes I work less, sometimes I work more. If I manage to get my work done in less, that's also okay. So nobody really controls me. It's more like an outcome-based system that we have.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So is it like in a week, 40 hours?
42, yeah.
42 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to adjust. If you work longer, someday you need to work less someday.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And are there laws regulating about overtime?
Maybe. So I think if a person works overtime a lot, eventually the company needs to pay for this overtime.
Yes.
I don't know if companies actually do that. Again, we're encouraged to rather take the time off that we work too much on certain occasions, so that we don't, because it's also for a company, they need to plan for it monetarily, and so they rather try us to work the amount that we're supposed to work.
Right. And in Japan, we work overtime a lot, and one of the reasons for frequent overtime is it's very difficult to leave until your seniors or coworkers still work, even if you finish on time. So you say you work like a flex, but in your country, like generally, does that happen?
I think some bosses like it, like to see their employees in the office and
Yes.
like to have a bit of oversight of what they do and how much they work. But there's not the pressure of leaving after your boss has left the office. So you can, if your workday is from 8 to 5, you can actually leave at 5,
Okay.
even though your boss is still in the
Oh,
office.
okay. So if you finish your job, you
Yes.
can leave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't need to care about others.
Not so much. I mean, of course, it always depends. Sometimes there's
Yes.
a project that really
Yeah,
needs to
right.
get finished, and then, I don't know, you stay until it's done or something. So that means, I don't know, eventually maybe going to the office on a Saturday, that also sometimes happens. But I think most of the time people leave, I don't know, because they also have other, I don't know, things to do after
Right.
work. So they have, I don't know, a hobby or
Right.
a family to get to. So they, yeah,
I
I
see.
think they
I
leave
see.
before their boss also.
Okay. And in Japan, there is also practice called unpaid overtime, which employees do not get paid for working an additional 15 or 30 minutes, sometimes longer.
Okay.
Yeah, and some survey shows that about 40% of the people in Japan work an average of 18 hours per month overtime, unpaid overtime. In your country or in your company, have you ever heard about that from your friends or people you know about unpaid overtime?
No,
No, never.
no,
That doesn't exist.
no, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. And perspective of work. In Japan, there is an expectation to sacrifice your personal time for the sake of contributing to the company. Do you have a similar sense of loyalty to the company?
I think in my company it's very like it's a bit special also. Many people do have a lot of like a high level of loyalty to the company. But I think it's changing this view of like work-life balance and like actually I don't know that your job is not the most important thing in your life, but maybe next to or even lower than your personal life and your hobbies and your family. And so I think this is changing in the younger generations.
Oh, yeah, right. So before, maybe they have kind of a loyalty.
Yes, and yeah.
And the work is the high priority in your life. Before.
Yeah, I think for many people it used to be.
But it's changing now.
I do think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last question, what are your thoughts on the Japanese work environment and the way Japanese people work compared to your country?
Well, I don't know a lot about it, just what you shared now with us. I think, it sounds very demanding, I think, so that it requires a lot of dedication from Japanese people to their companies, to their job. I really see a lot of benefits also for, I don't know, for being productive, for being creative and having time off.
Yes.
And actually being able to think of other things than your job. I think that sometimes make you even better at your job. I would miss if I worked here, I think.
Right. So do you think vacation leaves are necessary to give high productivity when you're back to work?
Yeah, kind of to recharge your batteries and to open your mind also to other topics or other things. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure I would also learn a lot from Japanese work environment.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.